If you're someone who is about to pitch to investors, avoid these 3 mistakes at all costs. 1. Pitching the product instead of the opportunity. Investors don't care about features. They care about market size, growth potential, and returns. Spend 80% of your time on the business opportunity, not the product.
Hi everyone. So today we will be creating a clean 3D animation. So let's begin. First of all, right click new and then solid. Make sure it is white. To give it that, black at the edges, we will be adding vignette. So head on to effects and presets tab and search for vignette and bring on CC vignette onto your white solid. And then what we are going to do is basically reduce the amount, okay, to something like this. And what we'll do is rename this to background. So I'll write BG and we are going to lock it because I don't want it to be moved or touched. So I'll just lock this layer. Okay. Now for the next part, as you can see over here, the text, if you are someone. So let's write the text, right click new text layer. Okay. Now to design the text, I'll head on to effects and presets, search for gradient ramp and put it on this text someone. Okay. And then we are going to change the colors. So put the black to this and the white part to this. And let's, select the anchor points of this and I'll put this here, put this over here. Okay. Just like in the video. Now for the animation, so this will fade up, okay, and this will come as a typewriter animation. So select this, animate, opacity, select the opacity to 0, open the range selector, click on the end keyframe, make this 0 and make the start to 100. Now go ahead around 1 second and then make this 100. Okay, now select this F9 and then I'll make something of a mountain shape to get this. Okay, but now we want it to fade up, so I'll just head on to advanced. First make it words and then head on to add property and then select position, and this y-axis just bring it down. Okay, so you get this effect. And now for the next text, I can simply hit U on this to see where this is ending. So somewhere around here, I'll just select this, head on to effects and presets, search for typewriter and then bring it over here. Hit U and bring this closer to get this effect. I'll simply, make these two layers 3D and then right click new, bring in a camera, hit OK, new, and then bring in a null object. Rename this to cam control, okay, and make this 3D too. Parent link the camera to the cam control. Now when this is finished somewhere around here, select P for position, go ahead and then drag this up. Select F9 and then drag this towards the left. Okay, and as you can see over here, it vanishes. Okay, so to do that, simply just select these two, hit T, click on opacity keyframe, and somewhere around here we have to make this 0. So you get something like this. And with this, the next part comes in, which is this. Okay, so first we'll design this. Select the rectangle, rounded rectangle tool. Make sure the fill is, something like this. Okay, and then make a rectangle like this. I'll rename this to document. Make sure it's 3D and then bring this down at the center. Okay, now hold Y and bring the anchor point over here. Now for the lines, simply select the pen tool, make sure fill is off and stroke is on, Now we have to just make lines, okay? Make them 3D and just bring them over here. Name this to line 1, okay? Hit Control D. Now just copy this and paste it over here. Now, as you can see, we have got all these lines, okay? Now the next thing which we have to do is basically select one, add trim paths, okay? So head on to trim paths, open this up, click on the end keyframe, make this 0, okay? Go ahead and then click on the end keyframe and make this 100. Select this F9, drag this towards the left. So we get something like this, okay? Now we want this animation on all, so I'll just copy the trim paths, select all of them and paste it. So now you see you get the same animation on all of them. Now what you have to do is basically sequence them so that it comes one after the another. So just move them, okay, ahead like this by 2 frames, okay? So now you can see that all the layers are coming up one after the another. Now I'll simply select all the deselect the 3D from this and bring them over here. Control Shift C, make this line, hit OK, then make it 3D, okay, and just bring it over here. So if you would have directly made it a compound clip, some of them would have been cut, okay? So what I did was I first deselected the 3D. Wait. First I deselected the 3D, okay, and then I made it a compound clip, okay? And now for the next part, what we can do is we have to bring the person. So I'll just bring it over here. Make sure it's 3D. Hit S to make it small. And we have to just place it over here. But what happens in the video is when it comes up, okay, it doesn't show what is in this area. Okay, it directly comes up inside this, okay, this person PNG. But before that, we just want to design this. So basically select this someone text layer, which you did, okay, and then head on to effects and control, grab the gradient ramp, Control C, copy it, and then paste it over here. Okay, now this looks good. One thing you can see that when this opens up, this color is very light, okay, the opacity is very light. So what we are going to do is select this, okay, hit T and let's reduce the opacity to something like this, okay. Now this looks good. Now the next part is doing this animation, okay. So now we need this man inside this, okay, not to show outside when this comes up. So simply we'll do matting now. So I'll hit Control D to copy this document layer, okay, and let's rename this to matte layer. And then simply select the matte layer, hit T and increase the opacity to 100. Now toggle switches mode, track matte the person to the matte layer, okay. So now if I move the person, you can see it is disappearing below this. So we want that animation. Secondly, I'll just parent link our matte layer to our document, also the lines to our document, okay. Now what I have to do is basically select our person, hit P for position, okay, and as you can see in the video, okay, it comes up. So simply just go over here, hit P for position, go ahead like this, and then again click on position keyframe. Go to the start, go to the end, and just make it like this. And here I'll just bring this down. Okay, select this F9 and then drag this towards the left. So we get this animation. But now we want it to open from this side. So I'll just select our document, hit S, click on the scale, go ahead, click on the scale again, go to the start and make this 0. So you get this. Now select this F9 and drag this towards the left. Okay, so this will be our final animation till here. Okay, and from here it will go up and then these three will come in. And as you can see, it was moving a bit, okay, over here. So when this came up, it was still moving a bit. So what we are going to do is basically hit Control D to copy the cam control and then hit D to delete these keyframes. Now select parent link of cam control and connect it with cam control 2. And over here, you need to hit on position keyframe and then go ahead somewhere around here and then drag this up like this. Select this F9 and then you have to drag this towards the left. Okay, so as you can see, when it is over here, it is still moving. Okay, you can see the movement, it is still going a bit up. Okay, and then finally it goes up. So what happened is we connected the movement of this to this. So whatever is happening on this cam control can happen here too on this one, but this will have its own properties also added up. So the cam control 2 will be moving according to cam control and according to its own position. So you'll have two, layer properties over here on this one. And now for the next part, when this goes up, these three, comes in. So we need to design these first. So new, okay. Then first head on to our ellipse tool. I'll make this white, okay. Make a circle, Control Alt Home to bring the anchor point towards the center. Make it 3D and we'll bring this shape here at the center. Now, as you can see in the video, it is again, gradient. So select this, copy, and then paste it on this. Okay, whatever color you want, so just do, and by holding, the anchor points, you can change the design. Okay, but to get this depth, okay, what we can do is basically first let me put this over here. Okay, and then let me name this circle 1. Okay, right click, layer styles, bevel and emboss, open this up. Okay, increase the size and select highlight color and make it dark blue like this. Okay, soften this up too. And now for this part, okay, the text. So simply right click, new text, hit 1, make it 3D, Control Alt Home to bring anchor point towards the center and bring the text over here. Parent links 1 to circle 1. Okay, so when I move this, the 1 will also move. Okay, simply now I'll deselect the 3D layers. Okay, put it over here, and then Control Shift C to make it a pre-comp, and I'll rename this again to C1. Okay, hit OK. Then make this 3D and bring it over here. Right click the wheel layers and then click this. Okay, C1. Now we need to make 2 more copies. So what I'll do here is hit Ctrl D 2 times to make total 3. Okay, and now I'll select these 2 and bring it inside. Okay, select the second one, put it over here, select the third one and put it over here. Think it is arranged, yes, like this. Select all of these and make them 3D. Okay, and now simply head inside this. Okay, and I'll change this to 2. Then select this, change this to 3. So I'll select all these, then bring them down. Okay, over here. Okay, and then hit P for position. Go ahead somewhere around here. Let me check by hitting U on cam control, and then hit position keyframe just above this. Okay, go to the end keyframe and bring these all 3 over here. So at this place we have to bring all of this at the top like this. Okay, now select all of them, F9, and drag this towards the left. But we want 2 and 3 to be delayed, as you can see over here. Also fading is there. First let's delay them. So 2, just move this, and then 3, move this. Now simply hold shift and hit T to open opacity. Click on the opacity keyframe, go ahead somewhere around the middle and click on opacity again, and just head on to the starting and make this 0. Then select this and F9. So, and then bring this over here. Adjust it with the position. So you'll get this. Stretch this out even more. Okay. Now I have to simply just copy this and paste it here and paste it over here too. Now remember to paste it on top of your position keyframes. Okay. So you'll get this animation, these lines, and then this. So from here, what we are going to do is basically select our pen tool and simply let's make this, make it 3D. Okay. Control Alt Home to bring anchor point in the center, and then let's drag this down over here. Hit Control D. Okay, and then right click, transform, flip horizontal, and then bring this over here, and finally hit Control D and make this straight, and then bring this line at the center like this. Okay, it should look something like this. I simply have to open this up, contents, shape, stroke, and then make this dashes, and I'll increase the dashes, copy the dashes, and simply just click on this and paste. Do the same thing with this too. Okay, now I'll make sure to put this below. Okay, these C1, C2 and C3. So it will come from inside these lines. Now same thing, select this, copy the gradient ramp and paste in them. Okay, so you get this, gradient colors. Now we need to bring our next PNG and think it's this. Yeah, we'll bring this over here, hit S, make it small, make it 3D first, bring this here. Now I'll just hit Ctrl V to paste it here too. And now to make this, so this darker part anchor point till here, light part anchor point should be, I think, this side. Okay, and then just I'll copy, go ahead inside, copy the layer styles and then just paste on this, okay, to get this effect. But we have to animate this too now, so it will come up and then this will come up also. Simply I'll just select this, hit U, copy these position and opacity, okay, and paste it on this, so it will also come up. Hit U, but I don't want the position to go up so far ahead, so I'll just simply head on to the position keyframe and drag this down, and from here these lines will start animating. When this comes up, I can always copy the line animation from this part, so just head on here and then copy the trim paths, head on back out, select this, okay, hit Ctrl V to paste it. Okay, now you can see there is this effect. I want the lines to be thicker, so I'll just make the stroke 8. Okay, then I'll hit U on this. Okay, so first this will come and these two will come at the same time, and hit Ctrl V. Okay, now I'll deselect the 3D layers, okay, and bring them over here. Okay, hit Ctrl Shift C to make them a compound clip, and let's rename this to dotted lines. Hit OK. Then make them 3D and bring them over here. And what I'm going to do is select this, okay, select our rectangle tool and just mask out this part. Open the mask and I can just invert this and feather this part out, make this bigger. Now let's see the whole animation till here. And then from this next part, this one will open up with this. Okay, so I have to just copy this, okay, and then after this, okay, simply just cut everything on this frame. So this all will go, hit Alt and right bracket, and from here hit Control D on this C1. Okay, bring this over here, hit U and delete the keyframes. And now for the animation, so hit S, scale, go ahead, again hit scale, go to the start, make this 0, F9, and then drag this towards the left. Okay, so it will come up like this. As you can see, it came up and then rotated to the left. Now came up, let's bring these closer, hit Shift R and Shift P to open position and rotation. Now hit the position keyframe and the Z rotation. Go ahead and bring the position towards the left, and then while it goes, it will rotate once. So rotation, I will put it over here 1. So 1 complete rotation. Let's do this -1. Select these two, F9, drag this towards the left. Okay. And when this goes, as you can see, this will open up. Now first we have to design it. So let's head on to the end and select the rounded rectangle tool and make something like this. Okay. Hit OK on the fill, delete the stroke, make it 3D, and then bring this down, make sure it's below this, and now again copy the gradient ramp and paste it over here. Hit T and reduce the opacity. Okay, to get this. Now I'll rename this to C1 document. Okay, and it has to open from the center. So hit U on this. Here it will start. Okay, select this. Make sure anchor point is in the center. Okay, hit S, deselect this, click on the scale keyframe, go ahead and again click on the scale keyframe. At the start, make sure to make this to 0, only the X, okay, and it will open up like this. Select this, F9, drag this towards the left. Now pitching the product instead of the opportunity. Right click new text. Now simply select this effects and presets, and inside animate in, I'll select fade upwards. Okay, and when this opens up somewhere around here, I'll put this. So we have got the same animation. And now suddenly this will go out and this will come in. After this, simply have to delete again. Select this C1 and the document, hit Alt and right bracket to cut it. Then I'll be bringing in this. Okay, we name this to person 2. Okay, and make this 3D. Now as you can see, it will come up and then these diamonds will come up from behind him. First we'll do the same thing again. Select this, copy the gradient ramp and paste it on this person. And what I'll do is simply hit P for position, go ahead, again position, go to the start and bring this down over here. Select this F9 and then drag this towards the left. So you get this animation. Let's move this further for a smoother animation. And from here, just from behind him, the diamonds will come out. So bring the diamond, put it here, copy this. Okay, again gradient ramp and paste it on this diamond. Hit S to make it smaller and Alt and left bracket. Hit T and Shift P. Click the keyframes, go ahead and then bring one over here. Click on the opacity keyframe 2. In the start, make this 0. S9, drag this towards the left. Okay, so you get this. Now hit Control D, move this ahead, Control D and move this ahead. Select these two, hit U and let's change the position now. So this will go here and this will go here. And then this will grow like this. So to do that, it's very simple. Simply I'll head on to my cam control 2, hit U. Okay, from here, hit on position, go ahead, drag this in the Z axis and this down, drag this more. Okay, so you'll get this effect. But as you can see here, when this comes, according to that, effect is there. Okay, so I need to delete all this. So just need to select all this previous layers and hit Alt and right bracket. And now simply select your pen tool, make sure fill is off, stroke is on, and then zoom this out, make something like this and increase the stroke. Rename this to curvy line, make it 3D. Again, I'll just copy and paste. Okay, and what I'm going to do is basically select this, hit the U. Okay, so how it comes in, okay, like this. Simply select this, add trim paths, open this up, click on end, make it 0, go ahead, make this 100. F9, drag this towards the left. And now you have to simply repeat this. So hit Ctrl D, parent link cam control 2 to 3, delete all the keyframes. And now simply when this zooms out, just click over here. Let me increase this. Go ahead and zoom this out again and bring this down. Okay, select this, F9, drag this towards the left. Okay, now just hit Ctrl D to copy this. Okay, move this ahead. Okay, so 1, and then simply I'll drag this above here, hit S, just make this bigger, something like this. Okay, so like this you'll get the animation. And finally the last one, I'll just hit Ctrl D, hit U, bring this ahead, drag this up, hit S and make this bigger like this. And from here what I'll do is hit Ctrl D and then delete this, hit P for position again, go ahead, I'll just connect this. Okay, don't forget to do that. Click this and zoom this out a bit more, bring this down, select this, F9, drag this towards the left. Okay, so now let's see the total animation till now what we have created. Okay, so write the text. So the last part is for you to do the last 3 scenes, scene 1, scene 2 and scene 3. So I'll explain it to you. Okay, so you don't have any problems. Okay, first of all the animations in the start, if you do them properly, you will be able to create the last 3 scenes very easily. So using the null, okay, just move to the right, okay, to this part, and remember to use these assets. I have given it in the description, and then write the text. And again, using the null, go down, write text, and then put this. And the design you can do by copying and pasting the gradient ramp. And finally, this. Fade it out, okay, by using opacity, and again, gradient ramp and text. Hope you learned something new from this video. See you in the next.